Because
because they expect me to do all the work,
yeah,
and then I'll say, well, did you do any of the things that we've been working on,
yeah,
right? So even the idea of building your toolkit, the goal in therapy is not that you sit on my sofa for the rest of your life.
mm,
The goal is that you build your toolkit so that when the stressors come, when the difficulties come, that you have tools that you can use
mm,
outside of this
mm,
space. And that's when people say, oh, the therapist wasn't good. Again, there are therapists that are not good. I
mm,
will definitely say there are people that are still learning their craft,
mm.
and I can appreciate people still learning their craft. But truthfully, when people say it didn't work, a lot of times when I'm speaking with them, it's, did you do any of the work outside?
Mm.
Can I add something to
Yes.
it? Okay. When people come to me, one of the first questions I will ask them is about previous treatment and what didn't work.
Mm,
Because usually I'm not their first therapist,
mm,
because people have tried different people for that
mm.
reason.
That's deep. What if we looked at therapy like relationships?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, who are you with?
who are you with
Right?
before me?
And sometimes like
Yep.
you go through a traumatic event
Mm-hmm.
with a therapist, or
Yep.
because that you unpack some deep things and it evoked a level of trauma, and you tapped into a level where you just feel like you were left on a cliff,
Yeah.
and now you're in a new relationship with a
Mm-hmm.
new
With a new
therapist, and
person.
this new therapist is coming
Yeah.
in.
And then you have to take that risk again of being vulnerable,
Yeah.
right? So that's the thing. You were vulnerable with that therapist,
Mhm.
and then you didn't get
That is
what you
deep.
needed.
Yeah.
And now I have to open up again
Yeah.
and share everything that I with the last three people with you once again.
Yeah.
And they
That didn't
expect
help, and they got this negative stigma.
and didn't get the results that I needed, which is what becomes then a barrier for treatment.
Mm,
And oftentimes, when I've said to people, again, the history of treatment, and college level, for example, and I'll have a student that's been with 7 or 8 different therapists.
mm,
As I start to hear the story, it's not that they didn't do the work, but again, something happened in that session, then they shut down. I'm not going to see that therapist anymore. Try to go to a new therapist. That becomes difficult for people.
mm.
And then by the time you get to me, then I'm like, okay, but I need to know that story, because I need to be able to go back there from when you were 7 and 8 years old
Mm.
and be able to help you.